surprised you're wearing that jersey right now. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed.
No, it's all.
Apparently, y'all had a super team. I don't know what happened.
Oh, that reminds me of last season and the season before that. That's pretty much what I had.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Futbol Talks. Thank you all for your support. If you're enjoying our videos, please be sure to subscribe. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so for today's video, we're going to start off talking about the game that just happened, actually. So we have the Community Shield, which is the FA Cup winners, along with the Premier League winners from the previous season. So unfortunately, Liverpool actually lost to Crystal Palace on penalties. So 2-2 in normal time, and they went straight to PKs after that. So let's get a live reaction from our resident Liverpool fan. So apparently y'all had a super team. I don't know what happened.
Well, we have a super team, but we're missing a couple key players. I must say we still got to learn how to take penalty kicks. Seems like it. The game was good at the beginning. We came out strong. We had great opportunities. The attacking was on point. I mean, the quick transition, the quick counters, the quick touches. As you can see, last season it was Salah was like the key man in the threat. Now you got Gapo. Now you got Kitike. Now you got Birds. Now you got Salah. So yeah, so it's not just one player. So, but at the end of the day, we'll see what the season brings. But I think it was just we don't want to show all our tricks and all the stuff, all our weapons in one game. Just saying,
Yeah, the Community Shield is basically a preseason like friendly tournament match type deal. I mean, it's serious, but it's not too serious. So I think that's the silver lining for Liverpool. You can tell Van Dijk, he was still getting up to speed. He didn't have a great game. So
yeah, I was gonna say Bertz and Ekitike had a really good game, I thought. Their link up was really good. Obviously Frimpong they had a good game as well. But their link up was well, and then they took him out, and then McAllister came in and he was struggling this game. So, but to your point, I think this showed that this is no longer like a team built around Salah. Now you have other people who can come in and bring that same skill set. I'm actually happy Crystal Palace won, something different. I know it's kind of like a friendly cup, but still, it's just, something different. So I'm surprised you're wearing that jersey right now. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed.
No, it's all proud. I'm proud. Season's about to start and you're going to see. That's all I got to say, men poop.
I do think that PK in the beginning was a little weak, even though I'm not a Liverpool fan. I do think I guess Van Dijk hit him, but come on, Sarr kind of just played into it a little bit more. So
yeah, I mean, I think this showed that Liverpool can be got at. I think Crystal Palace are a very organized team. They did the same thing to City in the final of the FA Cup. They're just very organized, and if you don't take your chances, I mean, their front three are very good on the counter. So, and that's what they did to Liverpool.
Yeah, we definitely miss Ryan Gravenberch. We missed him. He would have been and held down the midfield.
Right. So the main bulk of today's video is we're going to go over some template teams with the premium assets at FPL. So this upcoming season, some of the assets are pretty expensive, so you can't get all of them in your team, right? So we're going to go over a couple that we think, they're pretty good. They're not our team, so if you're in our league, you're not getting any secrets. But we're going to go over and review some of those teams here. So starting off, we have this first one with Saka and Palmer. No Haaland and no Salah. What do you guys think about just having Palmer and Saka as the premiums?
Personally, I think Palmer is actually a good pick. Saka, I'm not backing him right now. He needs to prove himself a little bit more. He got injured last season, and then ever since then when he came back, he's been kind of struggling. So I personally wouldn't invest heavily with him. I'd rather get someone else and spend all that money somewhere else. Palmer, I don't mind having. We know he's on PKs most of the time, some free kicks, some set pieces. He's on there. We know he's gonna play. Yeah, I'm not too fond of this one without maybe Salah or Haaland in there, or neither of them. What about you, Junior?
All right, so each one of them is over 10 mil. So that's a fifth. That's 20 mil right there. That's going to be gone where you can get like some other decent defender or whatever else. I think the Palmer and Saka are going to do really well. I think they're going to have a lot of assists. I don't know about goals. Arsenal guy Gyökeres, and they're good forward. He seems to be able to score now. Now they got someone that can score, right? And a true forward. So I think a lot of assists are going to come. What he is going to score, but not as much as he used to, because he didn't. He had to go in the box and try to do something. Palmer now he's got João Pedro in the lap. I mean, we saw. I didn't get to watch the whole of the game today, but I saw that they on the preseason game today. The lap scored twice. One was a penalty kick, and João Pedro scores. So it's gonna be interesting on how people go on that front when it comes to their forward, João Pedro, the lap. But anyway, I think Palmer's gonna get a lot of assists. He's gonna be able to feed, finally get someone, and not be the person that has to push up, not only feed but try to score as well. Right.
So do you like Saka?
I do, but I think now because of the defensive points, I don't know. I may not invest in Saka. I think I can get a player and a half elsewhere. I can get a good defender for like 8, not a good defender, a good mid for like 8, and then take those other 2.5 or 2 mil and bump up my defense. And that's just me.
Yeah, I think with Arsenal, you definitely want to maybe look towards their defense more with Raya or one of their center backs. Because Saka, you're looking for that really high output, and he's got the talent to do it, but it's the way Arsenal's set up, right? Like, do we think they're going to produce 3 or 4 goals every other game? That's not sure. I think it's a wait and see with Saka for sure. What do you guys think about Reinders as kind of Altnori and Reinders as the City coverage, I guess, with no Haaland? Because yes, Pep rotates a lot, but you don't want to miss out on potentially like 100 goals from City this season because they have the talent. It's just who's going to play.
Yeah, I like Reinders. I think he wasn't in consideration for me in the beginning, but after watching some of the preseason and how City is involving him more and playing him more, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a starter for us. And he's decently priced on FPL since he wasn't in the Prem before this. I think he's worth the price for as much as he plays. And yeah, I think he's a good selection. I definitely think he's an underrated player. And we're going to involve him a lot since, De Bruyne left. And we're going to need help attacking that midfield. So
yeah, and Rodri and Kovacic are both injured. So he'll play.
I actually like that.
And now, the way Manchester City plays, Pep likes to rotate players. And he likes to try different things. You are going to be losing Grealish. I think Grealish is also going to leave. Of course, he plays a different role, but he was using him in the middle at one point. Reinders, he did pretty well on that preseason game. I don't know. I just think all the signings you guys had this off season and during the winter, the last season, I think you have several options. And again, it's unpredictable. That's the thing about the only sure thing about Manchester City is that Haaland will start. Unless, he wants to try something different, put Parmosh and rest Haaland. But usually, Haaland starts.
I still think he'll play Reinders the majority of the games, though, because he just seems like a Pep type of player to me. And I know we need that attack. And he's been playing him ever since he came. So I could see it. And I just think overall, he's a very underrated player right now for FPL. And not many people have him. So they all move up and they all like to assist or try to score. Cuckoo with his freaking crazy runs up and his hair's pulled back. And Frimpong today proved that he likes to attack. And of course, Altnori, we'll see how he does.
They're all very they all kind of, they're not overlapping fullbacks necessarily, but they play like number 10s or like number 8s in the midfield. They just take up really random positions, and I think that kind of helps them get more points that way.
So it looks like it's more for the attacking part of it than more than trying to see if you can get a clean sheet.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. So to your guys' point, all 3 of them are attacking, and they'll get you that assist. Frimpong scored today. I know that was a cross. He didn't mean to score that, but it was still beautiful.
He'll tell you he meant it.
Yeah. I know I would. But definitely. All 3 of Manuri, he did pretty well in the preseason game, this last preseason game. I didn't see the usual Nuri. Again, he's not at Wolves. He's a Manchester City. It's a different way of playing with Pep under Pep. So he likes to have control over how the team plays. And Cucurella, with that crazy hair. Someone I know has that hair too, but it's just he's all over the place. I mean,
Right.
he was playing holding right next to Caicedo. Then all of a sudden he's running all the way up and try to do a header and a cross. It's all over. It's unpredictable with him. And I think this defense is good, but again, you're not really going for the clean sheet. I think it's more of trying to get attacking points, and you can get both because all three teams can get clean sheets. I guess.
I do think Cucurella does the overlapping run more so than the other two. But overall, what I learned with FPL is you want to have a good balance of your 5 defenders, of having attacking defenders like these 3, and also having defenders that are just going to stay back there, going to start, maybe be the captain, and just get you that clean sheet without having to attack. Well, sometimes I guess like a lot of those are like Tarkowski or Virgil van Dijk, right? They're tall, they'll go in for the headers, they might get you those points, but it's not often.
Gabriel.
So,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about our next team though.
Yep.
So this next team it looks like it just has, it has Palmer and Holland. So instead of soccer, 2 midfielders are going to have a striker and a midfielder. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, thing is with Holland, to your point, is he's going to play, right? And they have a great opening game in Wolves. I mean, he loves scoring against Wolves.
Triple captain. I'm telling you.
So they have the captain armband on him here, which that could be a really big swing, especially if a lot of people go the Salah route and you're going the Holland route. I mean, you could make up 15, 20 points right in the beginning of the first game there. I also noticed this guy has Muniz as well, which personally I think is a great FPL pick. He's basically a right winger for Palace. They don't have the easiest opening games, but he's going to be a good long term pick this year, I think.
And it looks like outside of Holland, he has Watkins and Bowen, which are highly selected. I saw while I was making my team, and I do think that those are some good forwards. We're going to see how Watkins does, though, without Rodgers, if Rodgers even ends up playing that first game. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see. I do think it weakens Villa just a little bit, but Telemans has been showing up, and McGinn, I know, likes to come in and assist. So, yeah, I actually don't mind the Holland and Palmer link up. I think this is better than the Saka and Palmer. I'd rather do something like this than the other two. Just because, like you said, Holland against Wolves is such a strong game. And then Palmer against Crystal Palace, I think he'll perform. So I think they'll get the points that you need.
And if you notice, this Birds is in this team, right? You got Birds in there, which he did well. I think it's going to also provide points. Now, when it comes to Haaland, I think Haaland, the first couple of games that they have, is the Haaland kind of games. So I think he's going to do well on that. Palmer, again, it's just a prize for me. I mean, it's just, I can get a decent midfielder in there for Emil and use that other two for another better defender or another better midfielder. Bowen, I mean, he came through for you guys at the end of last season. So
he comes through without even having a team to back him up. But how long will that luck last? How long can he do that? That's the part for me where I'm like, he's kind of expensive because he's so highly rated, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that every game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, check out my short of my full table predictions to see where I put West Ham. But yeah, I think it's going to be a struggle for them. But even if West Ham struggle, which how I think they will, Owen's going to come through. I mean, he's got too much quality. He knows the league. I mean, he's a fighter, and he'll get you points.
Now, one person I don't agree with is Rice on here. I would never get Rice in my team. I just think, yeah, I know he helps attack like alongside Odegaard for Arsenal, but for this season, they have a hard couple of fixtures in the beginning, and he's just not my type of player. I mean, yeah, he can attack and stuff.
Even with the defensive points and the possible clean sheet, I mean, you're looking at 6 points for Rice.
I think you can get other better defensive CDMs for that price because he's so.
I agree. I think he's a little overpriced. He's 6.5 mil, or Caicedo's I think 5.5 mil. So
you got to be careful with Caicedo though, because he gets red cards and yellow cards like no tomorrow. So I don't trust him on that. And yeah, you get 2 extra bonus points with the defensive points, but with the yellow and red, I mean, that's going to wipe it away. So it really doesn't mean much. He's just one of those that, yes, we know he's going to be starting for Chelsea, but I just don't trust him enough physically. He's so physical with that. He might lose those points for you. So
See, for me, when it comes to defensive mids, it's I know you mentioned about Caicedo on the cards, and yeah, you're right. But still, he's a good defensive mid. Well, he holds it. Same as Ryan Gravenberch, and same as now Subamendi. Coming for Arsenal. I mean, he assisted on one of the goals, and I think he is probably going to be the go-to for Arteta
Yeah, he'll be
when
there
it comes
six.
to yeah.
Mhm.
So those are three players that, and they're not that expensive to you guys' points. So me personally, I'm highly considered one of those three.
or Anderson for Forest, everyone's going
Oh,
after him
Yeah,
because he's well priced and Forest are so defensive. So we know he's going to get the defensive points likely. Speaking of that, we have Murillo and then we have Raya in goal. Raya, I mean, everyone's going either Raya and then Gabriel or one or the other, having the goalkeeper. That's it, or just the defender. But you definitely need one or the two from Arsenal.
All right, so we're going to the next next lineup, and I see that we have Haaland and we have Salah. Wow, that reminds me of last season and the season before that. That's pretty much what I had. I have for the last two seasons Salah. Well, actually, I didn't have Haaland. I had Salah, and then we ended up picking up Haaland because of everything that he was doing at the beginning of the season. But this is exactly what I had. Those two.
It's so boring. It gets boring using the same players. I do like when new guys come in and they're like, you need them, but it's okay. I know they made it to where these guys are too expensive. Where, I mean, as you can see from this team, right? That midfield is pretty atrocious besides Salah. So you really got to cheap out everywhere else. I do like the Mateta pick. I think he's a great forward. I think he's fairly priced, but again, Crystal Palace's opening fixtures are a bit tough. But I mean, he's a fighter, so I think he'll do good this year.
Yeah, the thing for me when it comes to Crystal Palace is where they're going to struggle is their depth.
Yeah.
Mateta gets hurt, Eze gets hurt, that's it. That's why when you look at my predictions for the table, the Premier League table, is I had Crystal Palace a little bit low. And while you're looking at that, don't forget to subscribe, by the way. But going back to this, yeah. What do you think, Ari? What do you think of this?
I think it's a little boring. I also think that, to your point, they priced them so that you have no choice but to choose cheap, very cheap players outside of this. People that, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know how to pronounce their name or who they are or what they even play. So I don't really care for it personally. I'd rather invest my money somewhere else. But, I guess people like the security of knowing Haaland and Salah are going to score. They're going in with the confidence of previous seasons. And people like to do things that are comfortable for them, which, great. But I think if you really want to switch it up and be different, invest that money somewhere else. Maybe make a stronger starting 11, vice a stronger maybe starting 6 or whatever it is. Seeming like they did invest with Saliba and Virgil van Dijk, but again, very expensive defenders. And then Gvardiol, expensive as well. Okay, so that's 3. Konsa and this other guy, okay. So you're going to have one weak defender, depending what formation you play. Yeah, it's okay.
But so when it comes to, like, for instance, we know Virgil and Saliba are going to start. That's set on stone. We know that's going to happen. But when it comes to Guardiola and Konsa, I don't know.
There's a rotation risk there. A little bit.
Yes. Aston Villa was doing that last year, and because I'm like, I was looking for a good defender, and I saw Aston Villa was having him as an option. I'm like, I'm gonna pick him, and he didn't even start. So I'm like, what? But I think Guardiola with Al Nouri playing in that position as well, I think it's gonna be a heavy rotation there as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like they're both $6 million, so you're really taking a risk there. Like you have to be sure one will start, which they're both great players. So if I was Pep, I would start them both. Have Guardiola at center back.
So on this lineup here, we're Brighton, and they're having now Welbeck as the main forward now, seeing Pedro is gone. So I think, I don't know, would they be the inconsistent Brighton that they used to be, or there may be a killing machine, a scoring machine, and Welbeck be the man. I don't know. That's a good gamble right there. And the price is not that bad for a forward,
So say you
especially
don't
a backup.
say you don't get Holland and you have Salah and Palmer or just Salah. Honestly, striker wise, looking, there's not many. There's not many that start. There's not many like that are like you have Watkins, Bowen, Holland. I guess you have these two, but these aren't really highly selected. You're gambling more with these two, right?
Yeah. The problem is Isak is a premium forward, but he is not. He's not available. Like he's
Yeah.
not playing. He's not playing preseason. So basically, for the first 3 or 4 games, Isak's not an option for you because you don't know his future. So that's kind of also making it a bit harder because you can't. The drop off from Holland is like Watkins and then Bowen, and then to your point, not a lot after that. So I think once Isak's future gets whatever he ends up doing, hopefully not going to Liverpool.
Yeah, well,
That'll make it more interesting on the forward side of things.
But people are still willing to gamble that. I noticed he's still highly selected, not 50 something percent, but 25 or 25%, I think. People are willing to take that risk, which is great. But right now, I think wherever he ends up going, even if it's by the time, Prem starts that first game, I don't think he's going to play right away. Which I think he has a different opinion than me. But
no, I know. I actually agree with you. I think if he comes to Liverpool, and it seems like it's gonna come like probably after the season starts, if it does. Right now, for me, when it comes without Isak in Liverpool, Ekitike will be the person that I'm picking as a forward, as a starter, nonstop. That's gonna be the person. Now with Isak coming in, if Isak comes to Liverpool, now I'm like Chelsea dilemma. It's
And
like
that's what I was
João
gonna bring
Pedro on the lap, or who are they gonna play? Or how much is it? How much time? Because Arne Slot may say, you know what, Kitike, you started last game. On this game, I actually prefer Isak to start, and Kitike is coming in the 70 minutes or something. I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting to see.
he keeps bringing up the fact that Chelsea has Delap and Pedro. Yes, I do think there's a rotation risk there, but I'm willing to still bet on Pedro because all he needs is 10 minutes to score and he can make that happen. It was the same thing with Brighton. He just unfortunately kept getting injured.
Yeah, I mean, saying like coming from a Chelsea fan who watches him, like watches the games. I mean, that guy's on fire. He's so confident right now. You get him a shot. I think he's probably taken 7 shots and he scored 4 goals
because
or
he's
5 goals.
happy. He's happy. He has a team that knows how to play. I mean, Brighton, like we have more consistent team that can
Right.
back him up and give it to him.
Yeah.
So even if I could even see them playing with Delap and Pedro.
Oh yeah, he can play
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
on the wing.
And that's the thing is, and they both come in and both end up playing. Yeah, because I just do not see a premium player like the lap at his caliber sitting out
No,
and being a bench warmer, and I do not see João Pedro being the same.
You're just bringing
just-
reality to light that. Yeah, he probably won't always start every game. which
Right,
I
it's the
agree.
same thing with Isak comes to Liverpool. That's
I think
gonna
he's
be
gonna start.
Isak
majority
is
of the
going to
game.
start, but yeah, Ekitike is going to get his time. But then again, the season is long and we have a lot of tournaments. Like we got a champions coming up. We have other games that we're going to be playing. So it's good to have the depth, to have the rotation, because you want to have that and be able to have good replacements, good subs, and a team that can win both games, the champions and the Premier, so they can rest.
you basically need 2 full quality starting 11s, which I think Pep started that back when he first came to City. Everyone would always be like, "Wow, like City's second team could come fourth in the Premier
And
League."
still beat them.
Yeah, so yeah.
I think even like going back to Pedro real quick, I'm more willing to gamble on Pedro being a rotation risk than Welbeck or Mateta here, just because the team is better overall. That's the only reason. Now, if he was on a team like these two, no, I don't think I would.
Well, the teams that they're playing, like Brighton is playing Fulham. So yeah, I don't know how Welbeck is up there in his age. I think is eventually once his contract is up, he's just gonna,
Season vet.
he's probably gonna come to the MLS, or probably go. I don't see him going to Saudi. But hey, you never know. Depends where the money comes. Mateta is playing Chelsea. I don't know how they're gonna do. Chelsea's defense has been consistent during the preseason. You guys actually were pretty consistent at the end of last season too, as well. And now you guys are more seasoned and more experienced together and working together more. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I, you know, they were able to tie us today, even though we didn't have a full squad, but still were able to tie us and win the Community Shield. So
Overall, I think you had to be crazy to have three premium, players. I think two is enough. Actually, I think one is perfect. Two is pushing it. Please do not do three. That would probably be my tip. I've seen people trying to fit all three. I mean, I think you can make it work, right?
You can make it work.
I think you can, but you're really
you're gonna finish pretty low. I mean, if you're in our league, you can have three. That's fine. Yeah, we don't care.
Absolutely. Hey, go for it.
Yeah.
Now, one tip that I'm also gonna add, another tip I'm gonna add to your tip, Ari, is that think about the chips. We got double chips, so you got two bench boosts, and you're also gonna have two free hits, and you're gonna have two wild cards and two triple captains. So you can take a risk, or depending on what your plan is. If you're gonna use bench boost, then come out with straight off the hat. Come out with a strong where everyone plays kind of from lineup. But you got to plan. You got to have a plan on how you're going to go about it by looking at your games ahead, each game week, and see when you're going to use your bench boost, when you're going to use your walker, when you're going to use your free hit. So I don't know. I think it takes planning.
I do not plan like that. He is very tactical. I do not do that. Maybe that's my downfall. But I will say I notice a lot of the top champions of like FPL or top 10%, whatever you want to call it, they oftentimes keep a lot of the same template teams and they'll switch maybe one or two players. But what really comes through is the captaincy, it seems like. So really think about who you're going to captain because that can be the difference, even if you have the same players as other people. So do you have a tip, Mario?
Yeah, I would say plan around the chips this season. I think that's going to be the key here. You can create a whole new team halfway through the first part of the season. So, I mean, I'd say plan short term. Like don't try to plan too long term because you may hurt yourself more and then end up game week 17 you still have two chips left to use. So yeah, so those were the premium teams that we went over. They're very template. So it's going to be a very long season. We're going to be able to switch our teams a lot. So just say good luck, guys, and
don't forget to like,
subscribe,
and hit that notification button. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye everyone.
Guys.